Hello and welcome to Underpaid Gamers Podcast. My name is Justin. I am sitting here next to my friend and colleague Tony.
Me!
Today we will be talking about a whole host of issues. Number one, Marvel's Civil War.
Trailer. And the movie. And the comic.
And the comic. A whole lot of that.
Listen.
I'm listening.
The second trailer for Marvel Civil War came out. The official trailer. Talked about a whole bunch of stuff. Spider-Man was in it. I went back and reread the comic books. So I'm going to compare and contrast and maybe spoil the movie just based on speculation. So we'll see what happens. But I've done a lot of research and I'm excited.
And secondly, we'll be talking about PlayStation's VR.
Yes.
So, let's hit it. So, here we are.
Here we are.
We're doing it right now.
We're doing things.
Marvel Civil War. You want to start with PlayStation VR?
Let's start with news, as
Okay.
per the use.
I'm sorry. Wait. Don't we have a section we always do, though?
Where's Destiny on Twitch?
Yeah, let's check it out.
Listen, I looked earlier today because South by Southwest is having a Melee tournament called Battle of the Five Gods, and they have like top 25 players, and I was watching it.
Oh, yeah?
But before I came on, I looked to see where Destiny was. Literally the 41st spot.
All right, 41st.
Destiny.
So, prediction
On Twitch.
of whether or not it will be higher or lower.
I'm going to say low. Well, I'm going to say around the same area.
Around the same?
Essentially what we're doing here is we got a Twitch, and we look at the top games played based on viewers, and we try to guess where Destiny is, because both of us used to play Destiny a lot, and now we like to see that it's crumbling. Your guess, although you've already scrolled pretty far down.
Oh, my goodness.
Have you been counting?
I have. I believe that was 9 times 4.
It's 36?
36, 37, 38, 39.
39. So it's moved up two since
two
this
slots.
morning at
39. There it is. I feel like it's my favorite. I don't know how long we're going to keep doing this section.
Forever.
Forever?
I mean, until Destiny 2 comes out?
I suppose, and then that one.
Then it won't be any fun,
let's
'cause it'll be like
let's
top
just
10.
wing it. Let's just see what.
Let's just see. We don't have to put a rule on it.
We don't.
We don't have to name this thing we're doing.
This is organic, man.
Yeah.
It's organic.
This is an open relationship we're
This
having
is
with Destiny
it
right now.
Yeah, it happens. So, what do we got for the news?
The very first thing I have on news, which I don't remember how long ago it was, Ratchet and Clank got a lot of reviews. The game.
Yep.
So Ratchet and Clank, the game, which is based off of a movie, which is based off of a game, which is really confusing.
That was a little
But the
confusing.
release date is April 14th. What a lot of the reviewers are saying. Also, before that, I think it's going to be marketed at $40 instead of the usual $60 for a PS4 game. And I think that's because they want like parents to buy this movie outside, like right when they walk out the theater.
Nice.
They're like, oh, it's only $40. I can buy that for my kid.
Yeah.
So it kind of ties in like that.
Cool.
Instead of like the whole 60.
Yeah.
But the reviews are in, and people are saying what they normally say about Ratchet and Clank is that it's a Pixar-like playable game. So every Disney Pixar movie that looks super good,
Yeah.
it's like that, but in video game form.
Very cool.
And
I do
they-
like Pixar.
Ratchet and Clank games have always been like super nice looking,
Yeah.
like cartoony games.
Is it artistic
No, I mean it's
or just
like
cartoony?
Pixar.
Pixar.
Just think Pixar.
I'm thinking Pixar.
Like
Okay.
everything that Pixar does, like the rounded edges and the cartoony kind of versions they have of whatever they make.
Yeah.
That's like what Ratchet and Clank looks like
Interesting.
all the time. There's humor and guns in it, which is what the series is known for.
Yep.
It's a reboot of the franchise, they said. So instead of continuing where they've been like the past 8 games, they've started all the way over again at the very beginning
Gotcha.
when Ratchet meets Clank.
Nice.
So that's exciting. And then there's a return of characters that we've all known and loved. Captain Quark, one of my favorite.
Oh, wow.
He's the big superhero guy.
Maybe this is another franchise that you need to convince me to start playing.
You haven't played Ratchet and Clank?
Not really.
I have the PS3 version of all 3 of the games combined.
Nice.
If you want to borrow it.
Sweet. I mean, right now I'm in Uncharted, but
The first, you're still playing that?
yeah.
The
It's
first
because
two games
I
are really
slowed
good.
down real fast. Because the pushback of the date. And now I'm like, what do I do? So I'm like a little bit in. I think I'm at like 60% now through Uncharted 3.
Yeah.
And then I started, since I got my PC working again,
Yeah.
I've been playing
Where-
Total War Medieval 2.
What? So it's your own fault.
It is my own fault. And then I got the Humble Bundle for Star Wars. Got like 10 Star Wars games.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I've never
it's
went
so
back to
good.
Uncharted.
It's so good. No, I'll finish it.
Speaking of Star Wars,
Oh my goodness.
J.J. Abrams, 2 things.
The man, the myth, the legend.
He admits that he made a mistake in Star Wars Episode 7.
Oh, what is that?
Did you read about it?
I did not. I saw the link, but I didn't click on it.
Oh, well, weird.
Because I want to be surprised.
There's a lot of things about Star Wars, actually.
Oh my goodness.
He
Talk to me,
said he
Tony.
made a mistake when Leia hugs Rey at the very end. And Leia walks right past Chewie. And,
Yeah.
Rey and Leia have never met before.
Yeah.
But he said, I thought it'd be fleshed out. I thought that two people so sensitive in the Force would have known about each other.
Yeah.
That's why they hugged, because they both lost
They
Han
could feel
Solo.
the grief in the Force.
But in the movie, it looks like Leia just shrugs off Chewie and hugs Rey, someone she's never met before.
Yeah.
So he's like, I really don't like the way that scene turned out, and I apologize.
Yeah. No, I feel like it would be a better scene if she would have gone for Chewie first.
I didn't even pay that much attention.
I didn't even notice it until that, but I feel like I understand where he's coming from
But
with
you've
that.
seen like 4.
I've seen it 4 times,
I've
but
seen it once.
I never noticed that was weird.
Yeah.
But it makes sense.
That's because you're so familiar with Leia
Yeah.
based on the old movies, and you're so familiar with Rey based on this movie.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, two main characters. Obviously, they know each other.
Right.
But if you think about it, you're like, they've never met.
I wonder if that's like alien racist, because I'm just like, oh, I automatically looked at the humans. Like, not thinking about how Chewie feels. I don't know. Maybe I'm an alien racist.
Kashikist.
Kashikist. I
Wookieist?
feel like that should be a country, like Kashikistan.
That's funny.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Another thing about J.J. Abrams, he says that the Half-Life and Portal movies are still in production. They're still in the writing stage.
Interesting.
So these have been announced. He's been talking about these
Underground.
before,
Yeah.
but he recently just came out. So people asked him about it. So they said the Portal and Half-Life movies are still in the writing stage. So look out for those, I guess. I never played either one of those games.
Yeah.
I wanted to play Portal, but I just never got around to it.
I've played Portal. I've never owned it, though, so I've never been able to really get through it.
Yeah. Another thing.
Talk to me.
There's set photos released of Episode 8, Star Wars Episode 8.
Oh, my goodness. I've seen them.
And I didn't look at them because I'm like, I don't really want to get
I
that spoiled.
saw them.
Do they spoil a whole bunch?
No.
Were they just like
They look like they're from a drone,
settings?
and it looks like it's barely... I mean, you can, like, barely see people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, there's, like, an outfit for, like, some new Order soldiers that we didn't see before.
Ooh.
But
How do you combat against drones taking pictures?
I don't know.
Do you have anti-drones?
I read an article about Disney hiring an anti-drone security force.
Yeah.
And they, like, walk around and they'll shoot them down.
With what? Beanbags?
I don't know. Probably.
Do they have their own drones that are like TIE fighters and X-Wings?
That's what I would hope. There are drones that look like that, and they put like little water guns on them, and then if it just shorts out the stuff, that'd be cool.
Dude, there was a lot of contention about drones. I remember a couple months ago, there was like this guy in like, let's say the Midwest, like Arkansas or something.
Yeah.
Who like took a drone and,
And
like
shot it down with a shotgun?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because the guy that shot it down had like 2 daughters that were outside like sunbathing.
Yeah.
And the drone was like above them.
Hovering.
And like he was the girls were like in an enclosed fence, but obviously the top isn't enclosed, so the
Right.
drone was there like hovering,
Yeah.
which it could have been taking pictures or whatever.
Yeah, it
guy
could've.
shot it down with a shotgun, and then he got sued.
That he had to like pay for or something.
I don't know how it ended, but
It's
I'm
like
like, that's something I never even thought of before with drones.
Yeah. Like where does your shot, like if you have private property, where does it end?
Does it go all the way up?
Does it go,
Does it go all the
up
way
like
down?
50 feet or like 100 feet or like 300 feet or...
And how do you defend
Well-
against drones other than shooting them down with a shotgun?
I know.
Like, or is everyone gonna have EMPs now?
I guess.
That'd be cool.
What if he had lasers?
What if you lassoed it?
That'd be like or took a whip and just like hit it. Like a good old Indiana Jones trick.
That's right. I also saw that the Han Solo movie, the actors have been narrowed down to 3.
3 different actors.
I don't know who they are. I didn't look. I
looked
saw
at the
it, I'm like,
list.
okay.
None of them are super well known. They're from a few. I'm sure some people know of them.
Do you know them?
One of them is from Kingsman, the dude from the Kingsman.
Everyone loved that movie. I'm just like, meh.
I actually didn't see it, so I don't really know who he is. Another one, I actually can't remember where the other 2 guys are from.
Wow.
They were like, one is from a TV show that I don't watch, and then the other one is from a movie I haven't seen. Again, but they're both young guys. So,
That's funny.
yep, it's narrowed down, but that's also a rumor too. So it's not even set in stone
Rumor?
that those are the 3.
Really?
It could be more than that.
Rumor mill.
So who knows what'll happen?
Battlefront DLC, The Outer Rim. Have you seen anything about that? As you have the game?
I have seen things about it. I know that the 2 heroes that are being added.
It's 2 people that like nobody knows, right?
I know them.
It's Squid Face guy.
It's Snub.
Is he the Squid Face guy?
He's the guy with like the flaps on his face.
Yeah, Squid Face guy.
Squid face guy. I feel like it's Flappy Dude. He's like a flapper, but it's attached to his skin. Snub. Nia Nub is actually what his name is. Nia Nub. He was in Return of the Jedi, and
He's like orange. Is he orange?
No.
is he green?
He's more tan.
So like Donald Trump?
Yeah, he kind of looks like Donald Trump, except for way cooler.
On a range of a basketball to Donald Trump, where does he fall?
Probably closer to a basketball, but his face kind of looks like Donald Trump a little bit.
All
So
flapping about and whatnot?
Nia Nub, and then Greedo,
Oh, Greedo. Cool.
the who shot first dude.
Yeah.
That guy.
I know
Who
Greedo.
obviously shot second. We know this.
Except for in the HD remaster where they...
Yeah,
made
except
him
for
shoot
in
first.
the Lucasfilm remaster in the 90s, they changed it. But Chewbacca, the actor behind Chewbacca, tweeted out his script, his original script, and it showed that Han shot
I
first.
saw that.
So it's pretty official that he should have shot first.
That's not Anthony Daniels. That's C-3PO.
No,
Chewbacca
I can't remember the guy's name. I'm such a bad Star Wars fan.
Yep.
Don't hate me.
Back onto video games again. I guess we were just talking about video games, but
Mhm.
Rocket League for March Madness is getting basketball-themed courts instead of soccer. Have you seen those?
I've not, but I love it.
So they're like hoops. They're like huge hoops that are like raised like 6 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
And like the nets are kind of like vert ramps on like a skate park. And you can jump up them with your car and like, but you have to hit the ball in them instead of like soccer.
Oh my
you have
goodness.
to like hit them downward.
I love this. I love Rocket League. I haven't played it in forever.
I don't know.
But I just remember all of my memories of Rocket League are super positive.
Super fun. Mine are not. I think I played it too long.
Maybe.
I lost
Perhaps.
everything I worked towards somehow. Like my account got deleted
No.
on Rocket League, so I've been playing it and I like got all the colors and I got all the cards and stuff.
That's the worst.
And then it deleted it and I signed in and it was like level 1.
Oh my goodness.
Like,
That happened to me
yeah,
in
it's
Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4. The one for PS4. It was like one of the first games that came out. I played it a bunch of multiplayer and I was like working towards getting the 1911
Ooh.
unlocked, which is a trophy. And
Really?
I lost all of my progress. I logged in one day, it was gone. And then I Googled it and apparently that happens.
Yeah.
And that you can't recover it.
Yeah.
And I was so mad I haven't played it
EA
since.
sucks.
I seriously have
Battlefield
not
sucks.
played it since.
There is news of a Men in Black Jump Street crossover.
There you go.
We have talked about this before, a little bit, not necessarily this specifically,
Mhm.
but we're talking about how Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum are gonna maybe be in the new Men in Black film,
Yeah, they might have a cameo.
and now I think it's gonna be a crossover between Jump Street and that,
That would be
Interesting.
nuts. It would be so funny.
wouldn't it?
I'm only imagining the humor behind it.
Have you seen the trailer for Sausage Party?
I have seen there's like a little bit of controversy around it, but
Really? Tell me about the
just like
controversy. 'Cause I don't know anything about controversy.
just like inappropriateness of it. I mean, it's gonna be rated. It's animated, but it's gonna be like rated
What are
R.
you talking about? It's a Seth Rogen film. Like
Right, it's gonna be bad.
Seth Rogen, James Franco, and like all those guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be ridiculous.
And people are like, "This is inappropriate." Like, yeah, duh.
Yeah, but people freak out about every movie that's inappropriate.
Oh,
so
well.
that's just what I
I
saw.
saw it. I don't know if animated is the way they should be going. I think they have made a lot of very good movies.
Mhm.
That group of people.
Yeah.
Jonah Hill, James Franco, Channing Tatum's on this one, but like Seth Rogen and
Yeah.
all those people. And I don't know if animated is the way to go. But hey, it might be funny.
Hey, we'll see. We'll
The
just,
trailer made me laugh a couple times, but I don't know if I'm going to see it.
Sure. I mean, it's like an interesting concept, but we'll see. Because aren't they all sausages? They're all just like
they're
different
all
things to meet.
food.
And they
the
wanna
whole
be
premise behind the thing is that they're in the grocery store when they start,
Yeah.
and like everyone's like all the food is personified,
Yeah.
and all the food's like, man, my one goal is to be eaten by a human. Like this is great. Now I gotta go to heaven when I get eaten. So they get bought.
Yeah.
Like sausages and like hot dogs and like buns get bought.
Yeah.
And like potatoes and stuff for like a 4th of July
Mhm.
thing. They go to the home and like when they're getting cut up and like eaten, like they're clearly in pain. So now everyone that originally thought like getting eaten was the
A good
saving,
thing,
was like
yeah.
going to heaven. They're all like, this is torture. We have to get out of here. We have to tell everybody.
Oh my goodness.
So then, I guess they make their way back to the grocery store and tell everybody, tell all the food about how they don't want to be eaten anymore. I think that is the premise.
It's kind of a funny concept.
So it's kind of funny.
I could see how that could be funny.
I've always had an internal
In
debate
like a
if
dark
if
thing.
food was personified, would they want to be eaten or would they not want to be eaten?
I mean, I guess that depends on what they see their purpose as.
Right. I guess.
But that's a lot of pain.
But would they want to be eaten more so than like rotting and thrown away to, I guess, die of old age?
I guess
don't know.
what purpose do they serve if they get thrown out?
Who knows?
I mean,
So
in fertilizer maybe.
A debate for another day. I
This
guess.
is like a philosophical debate. I don't think we've ever had one of those on here. Unless you count our Spider-Man versus Iron Man thing.
What?
We always talk about Iron Man and Spider-Man.
Oh, I'm gonna talk
And
more
how
about
Iron Man is
later.
way cooler than Spider-Man.
I don't think that's ever been said on this show.
It just did. Just did. All right.
Back
next?
to superheroes and stories.
Mhm.
Mark Hamill is going to reprise his role as the Joker
In an animated movie.
in the Killing Joke animated movie.
Oh my goodness.
We've talked about the Killing Joke before on the show. I bought it on my phone, my comic on my phone. It's definitely an R-rated film.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, this is a Batman movie, and it's very clearly a Joker story.
Yeah.
It has the Joker origin in it.
Yeah.
It has a Joker without face paint.
And if I remember, you told from what you said, it's very dark. Very dark.
It is very dark. Essentially, the Joker is trying to get Jim Gordon to go crazy for having one bad day, and he shoots Jim Gordon's daughter.
Oh my goodness!
And paralyzes her. And there's an implied sexual assault because he takes her clothes off and takes pictures of her.
Oh my god!
Then later that comes up and Jim Gordon sees all this stuff and the whole point is for Jim Gordon to go crazy. So the Joker can be just one bad day can make anybody go crazy, right? And then the Batman's in it for 6 panels. It's literally all Joker and all Jim Gordon.
Wow.
Which I'm cool with. But people keep calling it a Batman movie. I'm like, it's definitely a Joker movie.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. It was a good story. It'll be interesting to see animated. I don't know if they'll go... I know that people are saying it might be R-rated, but I don't know if it'll go that far. Because I think there's a disconnect between how dark movies can go and how dark
animated movies can go.
And how dark comics can go.
Yeah. I can see that.
I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Interesting.
Tell me, Justin.
Talk to me.
What is happening this October that's going to cost $399?
Wow. What a good segue into what I want to talk about.
What is it you want to talk about? Tell me.
Well, this is trend in the gaming industry. Used to be a fantasy, now becoming a reality.
Ooh.
That is virtual reality.
Whoa!
This idea that you can be transported visually, maybe even someday spiritually, maybe all your senses could be that way. I don't know. To the video game world itself. It's called virtual reality VR. There are 3 headsets coming out here soon that will be tested and by the consumer. One of them, PlayStation VR. Mm-hmm. The other 2, Oculus Rift, and the other one, HTC Vive, I believe.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, those are the 3 competitors.
Good luck! Thing I've never heard of before.
Yeah, there it is, Vive. Good luck with that, chucklehead. So Sony announced, I believe this week, that the PlayStation VR will be out this October.
Ooh.
And it will have a very competitive price of $399. Now, that is compared to...
That's $1 away from $400.
It is. You're good at that.
How much a PS4 cost when it first came out.
It is
But
true.
it's less than when a PS3 came out. PS3 first came out for $600.
I remember. It was ridiculous. And all my friends were like, buy an Xbox, it's so much cooler. I was like, no. I did have an Xbox at that point. Then I switched after the PS4 3 came out.
And never went back.
And then never went back. I converted.
I would, if I could relive, I'd probably have an Xbox.
Really?
And a PS3. I'd have both. I don't know.
Are you going back on your values?
If I had an
right
Xbox 360, I would probably play the crap out of Halo.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, that's the only franchise I really miss when I switched.
Yeah. But I would miss Uncharted. So,
yeah.
And Infamous.
Yep. And The Last of Us.
And The Last of Us. Well, I could get on PS4, but it'll be way too late. I don't know.
That's a hard debate. I mean, we've talked about the console wars, but
yeah, we have on our episode called Console Wars.
Yeah. Wow. What a good title.
You did a good job.
Thanks, man. So back to the VR stuff. Price point is very competitive. I believe. Let me make sure I quote the right number.
You want me to tell you?
No, I've got it.
How dare you?
I did write it down.
Oh, I see.
Oculus Rift is $599.
What?
And the HTC Vive is $799. So, comparatively, PlayStation VR is the cheapest version of a headset. It is going to be in Full HD, 1080p. And
I saw that they won't accept anything under 60 frames.
Yes.
Was that what you were going to say?
I didn't write that one down, but I saw it during detention today when I was thinking about what I wanted to say.
Detention?
Yeah, when I was in detention, proctoring it.
They won't go under 60 frames, and they won't accept frame drops.
Yeah, and they said the reason being, do you know why they said it?
Sure.
Wait, I said, do you know?
Do I know?
Yeah.
No. I thought you said, do
you
know?
The reason is because of the shifting back and forth.
Yeah.
And they have, first off, they have the whole latency thing where the lag behind it can make you sick when you're moving around your head. And I'm moving around my head right now, but you can't see it, listeners. So I am, just take it. And so the 60 frames per second, if it ever drops, it could give people sickness, is the idea. So they want it to be 60 minimum. And it can support up to 120 frames per second.
Ooh.
So
you know what the eye sees at?
I don't. I think it's at 30. Actually, I think it's lower.
The eye cannot. What?
I don't know.
That's impossible.
I've heard a lot of different things about it.
The eye?
Yeah. I don't know what the eye is.
Like your human eye?
Like a human eye. I don't know.
I don't know. We can look it up, but I don't care that much.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
Way,
a roller coaster be an awesome VR experience?
Yeah, they actually already have
Tycoon?
one. They already have a VR thing. Where is it? Kentucky Kingdom, I think. I saw this online. I saw a video.
It's a great theme park.
It's alright.
I used to go there a lot.
I've been there before.
No, I was going to see their
It was closed for a while because somebody like lost their leg or something.
That was at a Six Flags. It might have been Kentucky Kingdom.
I thought it
No, it was. I don't know if it's the same story.
Yeah.
But there was one of those hanging roller coasters where your feet dangle.
Yeah.
It was the Superman ride. I think that might have been. It was at one of them. And like this kid lost his hat, I guess, and he like climbed 2 fences to go into the coaster track
to get
his hat.
Yeah.
And as soon as he got in there, like the roller coaster came by, and a lady kicked off his head.
Oh my gosh!
And obviously broke her foot and her leg all the way up.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure his head got kicked all the way off.
Oh my gosh!
Like, can you imagine that?
I hate
That'd
this.
be awful.
Can we change the subject?
You're like,
this is like gory.
What
In
what,
my
hit,
mind.
what hit my arm? What hit my leg? And your leg is
Some kid's
literally
head.
broken.
Some kid's head. That's nuts.
Anyway,
So
back to
there's
VR.
there's like a roller coaster you can ride that you have a headset on. I just saw the video like yesterday, and it takes you through and you can like look around and it's like some crazy sci-fi space looking thing, and you're like flying through space and getting shot at. It's interesting. So the VR, those are the different price points. It would be interesting with a roller coaster. The only thing about the PlayStation VR specifically is that to use it, you need the PlayStation Move controllers and the PlayStation Move camera.
The PlayStation Eye.
Yeah, and it does not come with that. That price point does not come with it.
It's like $120.
There will be a bundle with it that you can get it all together, but they've not announced the price of that bundle. I'm assuming it's a little bit discounted. I'd hope so, but who knows?
They, I don't know. I saw a lot of posts that Sony is selling their VR
At cost?
No, at profit.
Really?
Yeah. So I think they sold the PS4 a little bit under profit.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
But they're selling this at profit, which isn't bad because it's already $100, $200, $300 cheaper than the other two.
Right.
And Sony's, Oculus Rift is owned by Facebook.
Yeah.
So no one's gonna have a lot of faith in that, I don't think.
Right.
And no one's gonna have a lot of faith in the thing they've never heard of before. The
HTC Vive. Yeah. HTC makes phones, so it's interesting. I know Samsung has their own VR too, but they use it with a phone.
Yeah.
So
you can do that on YouTube now.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a cardboard thing. It's weird.
Yeah. I've seen the cardboard thing. I don't know how I feel about it. I think it's kind of a gimmick. But that's kind of my pessimistic view of VR in general is that it's kind of gimmicky. But
you're pessimistic?
That's my pessimistic view. Optimistically, it'd be super cool, but I feel like I want to play with one before I buy it. By the way, Sony's going to actually treat this is interesting. They're going to treat the PlayStation headset, VR headset, like a console.
Yeah.
In terms of development, so essentially, this VR headset is what they're going to be using for the next 5 or 6 years.
Really?
Yeah, they don't have any plans to update the tech of it.
PS4 just came out 3 years ago.
I know. So
that's weird.
They don't have plans to make a new one. Essentially, they're just going to upgrade the operating system of it, and that's it. For that's now, cool. And just see because essentially the argument they made in the press release was that this is the first commercial VR headset.
Yeah.
For us, so they're just going to play around with it, see how it goes. The cool thing about it is it's going to be releasing with 50 games compatible.
Ooh.
And I went through the list and I picked out some of the ones that I thought looked interesting, or ones I had heard of before. Some of the more known ones would be like Drive Club, so racing game. Psychonauts.
I wonder if they have a racing game in VR.
Yeah.
Do you have to be behind the wheel, or can you get the view behind the car?
Dude, I bet you have to be behind the wheel.
Oh,
that'd be so realistic though.
That'd be awful.
And then you get the old school, pedals and everything you have, and then you're just going around, you're looking, pretty cool. Star Wars Battlefront is gonna have a thing. It was the biggest title I saw. So that'd be interesting. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I don't know if it's gonna be separate from everything else. But it said Star Wars Battlefront VR experience.
Maybe that's the story of Battlefront.
It could be
the campaign.
That'd be nuts. I've heard. We talked about the rumors, didn't we, last week about Finn?
How he wants a campaign.
Yeah, tweeted at him, and they were like, "Hey, well, let's talk about it."
Oh,
EA said that.
I don't know if they said let's talk about it, but
I thought they did.
How annoyed would you be if they had the campaign come out on a different system?
Oh my gosh.
That was VR. That costs so much.
Well, if I had a VR, I'd be happy, but I probably won't right away. So I'll probably be upset.
Well, I don't know if I'll ever get one.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, again, I want to like borrow somebody else's or like go over to their house and try it out and then make the decision.
Go to GameStop and use theirs.
Dude, that's good. Yeah.
Put your head where all the little grimy 12-year-olds put their head in their face
and get acne from them.
Yeah,
gross. Ace Combat 7 is one that I saw.
I don't think acne is contagious.
It's not?
No.
Dang it! I avoided some people for really bad reasons then in middle school.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's awkward.
VR.
VR. Ace Combat 7. If you've never played Ace Combat, I love Ace Combat games. They're a lot of fun. Fighter jets. Very realistic looking. Like picturesque. And Final Fantasy 14. Whoa, what up? But also, EVE Online.
Ooh,
my favorite MMO of all time that I don't play anymore, but still love it. They're coming out with one called EVE Valkyrie. And it's essentially Ace Combat, but in space.
Huh.
You, like, have different fighters, and you fight in space. And the game is beautiful, and I love the ships, so that'd be fun. Also, No Man's Sky, we talked about before.
Yeah, we have.
I'm excited for it. I don't think Tony is.
The only thing that could make me excited for it is if it's VR. Everything else just seems super gimmicky.
Yeah, which we've talked about before. But the rumor is that it will be a VR experience. But there's been no confirmation of that from the developer or from PlayStation.
The rumor is it needs to be a VR experience. There was people that asked the developer if it's a VR, and the developer said, that's a very interesting idea. He hasn't denied it.
Yeah, I think that was actually literally what the tweet said.
Yeah.
That caused all the stuff.
So he hasn't denied it.
Yeah.
But it's coming out at a specific time that a lot of people think it will be.
Yeah.
And I think it needs to be.
Really?
I mean, I'm literally
not obviously you're not sold at all.
Other than for VR.
Which I'm like super sold. So.
I don't know why everyone's so excited about it.
Dude, exploration. It's in humanity's blood to want to explore.
Yeah, but by yourself?
Maybe. I mean, perhaps.
We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, so that's what I got. If you have any thoughts about VR and you'd like to tweet at us, do it. Send us an email.
UP Gamers Podcast.
Or underpaidgamerspodcast@gmail.com. Or if you're on SoundCloud right now, just hit that comment button.
Ooh.
So, Tony, I think...
I got a lot!
You got quite a bit. My comment on Google Docs, which is what we use, was, holy cow, when I saw what he wrote.
Verbatim.
With a lot of O's, I think, or W's. One or the other.
No, it was
just one holy cow?
It was just holy cow.
But it's all caps.
Yeah.
So I yelled it. So, Tony, what do we got?
Listen. We got a lot of information about Civil War. I watched Captain America, the First Avenger last night. I watched Winter Soldier a couple weeks ago. I watched Age of Ultron this week, or last week. I just finished rereading today the Civil War comics I have, which is a hardback cover. It's, what is it? Volumes like 1 through 7, like episodes 1 through 7.
Yeah.
Which is essentially the main storyline. They have a whole bunch of stuff I'll talk about. There's also a whole bunch of like side stories with every other individual character in their books. But that's like the big meaty part of it is 1 through 7.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm ready. I'm ready for this.
Dude, talk to me. Where do you want to start?
I'm going to start with the comic, I think.
All right.
We're going to go through the comic real quick. Yeah, let's do that. I meant to bring my book, but I didn't.
Uh-oh.
So we'll just go through it.
All right.
Okay, so the Civil War in the comics start with the Stamford incident, is what they call it. Essentially, there's there's a small group of lesser-known heroes that are amateurs. They go up against the FBI's most wanted list, and one of the persons is a Nitro, and he essentially blows himself up, and that's his power. He does it in an elementary school yard, so it kills a whole bunch of elementary school kids.
Oh, no!
200 of them. Clearly, that's a bad issue.
That is terrible. That's a tragedy.
Before that, even in the Marvel universe, like the Hulk went on a rampage in Las Vegas.
Oh, my goodness.
And killed a whole bunch of people to the point where the heads of, like, the great thinkers of Marvel, like, locked him in a space cell and, like, sent him off into space.
Oh, my goodness.
So he's not here anymore.
Bye, Bruce. Hope you find your dad.
So after that, it becomes the Registration Act. Essentially, S.H.I.E.L.D. wants people to register their superhero names so that they can, like, keep tabs on them.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit different from what I think is going to happen in the movie.
Yeah. There's some different interpretation. From what I can tell from the trailer. I'm sure you'll talk about it.
Yeah. So it splits Captain America and Iron Man down the middle. Captain America... Nick Fury isn't in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore in this one. He's, like, AFK for whatever reason. So Marissa Hill, who was played by Robin from How I Met Your Mother.
Robin Trabowski.
In all the Avengers movies and stuff.
So
she's
far.
in charge. Marissa Hill's in charge. So she tries to take down Captain America. Captain America like flees, is now fighting underground. Iron Man, instead of like fighting evil, he's trying to capture all these superheroes that have gone rogue, essentially.
Yeah.
It was really interesting because there's a scene where Captain America is like in the sewers, like fighting a whole bunch of evil villains. He handcuffed them all to like pillars in the sewer.
Mm-hmm.
He's like 14 of them.
Yeah.
So while he's fighting crime underground, Iron Man's just trying to capture him.
Cap.
Cap. That's right. So like Captain America is doing something, Iron Man's not.
Right.
So that's interesting. It goes from there. Essentially, both teams grow bigger. There's a fight that ensues between them all where...
Is it at the airport?
This isn't the comics.
Wait, oh yeah, I'm sorry.
There's not an airport in the comics.
Right, okay.
In the comic, Iron Man, Reed Richards, which is Mr. Fantastic, and Hank Pym, which is Ant-Man,
Mm-hmm.
or the three greatest, like... So, like, Iron Man is technologically savvy,
Yeah.
like mechanically savvy.
Mm-hmm.
Hank Pym is, like, physics and particle savvy, and Reed
Mhm.
Richards is, like, biologically savvy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, those are the three best minds of the Marvel Universe. They all came together all on the same side.
Yeah.
They made a cyborg Thor, because Thor is thought to be dead.
Oh my goodness.
So they made a
Thor?
fake Thor. In the middle of this fight, this fake Thor comes down. It's their big weapon. It's like their checkmate weapon.
Yeah.
He kills Goliath, which is on Captain America's team.
Yeah.
And then after that, like, they stop fighting. Everyone's like in shock that someone just died.
Yeah.
That like this fake Thor just killed this guy.
Yeah.
Everyone blames Tony Stark and the other guys because they obviously made this
Right.
without testing it before.
Mm-hmm.
So it killed
Sounds
somebody.
like classic Tony.
Right. Tony Stark. And then Spider-Man was on Iron Man's team, unmasked himself on live TV. Spider-Man's been notorious for being the one with the most secrecy around his secret identity
Yeah.
because he wants to protect Mary Jane and Aunt May.
Right.
So he unmasks himself on TV to say that he's on Iron Man's side. After Goliath is killed by this fake Thor, Spider-Man confronts Tony Stark. He's like, listen, I don't want to fight against S.H.I.E.L.D., but I don't like the way this is going. I don't like how you're handling this. So he Iron Man throws some mad shade towards Spider-Man about Aunt May and Mary Jane. So Spider-Man punches him right in the face.
Nice.
And then Iron Man literally tries to kill Spider-Man. So Spider-Man gets away. He ends up in the sewers just running away.
Yeah.
Because obviously...
Iron Man's after him.
And if you're looking for Spider-Man, you'd look at the building tops and not the sewers.
True.
But then Iron Man brings forth the Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts!
Do you know who the Thunderbolts are?
No.
Listen. Thunderbolts are essentially the Suicide Squad of Marvel.
Oh, bad guys.
It's literally a group of bad guys.
Nice.
No, not nice. Literally, Iron Man took these guys out of prison just to fight on his team because he's losing people.
Nice.
So he's fighting with villains. Iron Man sucks.
Iron Man is doing what it takes.
Everything is wrong. What? Everything is wrong with Iron Man.
I have to be on his side.
No, well, you're wrong.
Okay.
Anyways, they two of the guys fight Spider-Man in the sewers and literally almost kill him. Like he's a step away. Luckily, Punisher is there to save him. Brings him to Captain America's team. Everyone's like, "Why is Punisher here? He's clearly not a good guy. He kills people." And Captain America's like,
Punisher.
"Listen, I'll take him because he needs all the help he can get."
Right.
After that, Spider-Man is now part of Captain America's team. Some other stuff ensues. For whatever reason, crime rates are like the lowest they've ever been. Eventually, two villains show up on Captain America's side,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Hey, we want to help you out." And Punisher literally just kills them, like riddles him with bullets, and Captain America like destroys Punisher.
Nice.
Like he fights him, and Captain America's like, "Fight back!" And Punisher's like, "No, I'm not gonna fight you." And then Captain America's like, "Dang, that hurt. That hurt my heart." But he sends him away anyway. Then there's this big prison in the negative zone called Prison 42. Essentially, the negative zone is a different dimension. There's only two doors that can get into the negative zone. One on Stryker Island, which is run by S.H.I.E.L.D., and one in the Reed Richards house, the Fantastic Four place. I can't remember the name of it right now.
I got you. His home base.
Yeah. So there's two doors. There's a prison there. That's where they've been keeping all the superheroes that are not registering. So like Daredevil's in there. All these other people. There's a scene
Gotcha.
there's a scene where Daredevil gives a piece of silver to Iron Man, and Iron Man's like, "What's this for?" And Daredevil's like, "No, you have 31 pieces of silver." Judas.
Oh my goodness.
Bible reference. Traitor.
To Iron Man?
Yeah, to Iron Man.
But he didn't want to register. But Daredevil didn't want to register.
Yeah. So Iron Man captured him. And
Oh,
threw
right.
him in
Oh,
prison.
yeah. I had to flip for a
betrayed him.
second.
Gotcha.
Nice.
So they're all in prison. Essentially, a big set piece is they all try to infiltrate the negative zone, Area 42. They get in there. Black Panther's there. Luckily, he unlocks all the cells. So there's 2 pages on the comic. One is Captain America's side. One is Iron Man's side. Captain America and like 6 other people, all heroes.
Yeah.
Iron Man is literally Iron Man and all villains fighting against Captain America and his team.
Wow. So they definitely set up Iron Man to be the bad guy in this.
Yeah. Well, Iron Man did it to himself.
Do you think that position is wrong?
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Iron Man is like, oh, looks like you're outnumbered. I got all these bad guys. And Captain America's like, I don't think so. Black Panther's been behind the scenes unlocking all the cells. So now all the superheroes that have been imprisoned are now on Captain America's team. They fight forever. The doors to Area 42, Prison 42, whatever, are getting close. So they all, they have Cloak, who's like a teleport master type guy, teleport them all into New York City at Reed Richards Tower. And then Baxter, the Baxter Building, that's what it's called.
The Baxter Building.
Yeah,
Nice.
they get teleported to the Baxter Building. They fight in New York, destroy like the whole city, and then it gets to the point where Iron Man and Captain America are fighting. Iron Man is 1 punch away from death, and all these civilians from Captain America.
Yeah.
He's like, finish me, and all these civilians jump on Captain America. And he's like, no, don't hurt him. And then they're like, look at what you've done to the city. So he looks around and like the city's destroyed.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of casualties because there's been some superheroes behind the scenes like
Trying to get people out.
away, like the Thing and
Yeah.
things like that. So he looks and he's like, oh no, I can't do it. Like, this is awful. Like, I didn't want this ever to happen. So he finally has like a realization moment, and he orders all of his troops to surrender, to stop fighting. He takes off his mask, and everyone's like, no, Captain, you can't surrender. He's like, Captain America isn't surrendering. Steven Rogers is surrendering.
Yeah.
So he takes off his mask, is arrested by NYPD as Steven Rogers, goes to jail, and then after that, there's panels. It's the conclusion. There's I actually wrote it down. After he goes to jail, some heroes move to Canada for freedom heroing. They like to keep doing their thing that they like to do in the United States.
Yeah.
Because essentially, when Captain America surrendered, the Registration Act passed.
Yeah.
It went through because he was the big resistance. However, after he was put in jail, Cap's team is there's some people from Cap's team still underground and fighting for superhero freedom, including names like
Spider-Man,
Luke Cage, you know.
Oh yeah.
Doctor Strange, you know.
Nice.
Spider-Man and Spider-Woman, which is not, they're not that related.
Okay.
Iron Man's team essentially wins. I put in air quotes.
Yeah.
Because there's not really any winning in this. And Tony Stark then becomes director of S.H.I.E.L.D. And the reason he says that is because who else does he trust to protect the identities of these superheroes other than himself? So
that sounds like a very Tony Stark thing to do.
So he is now director of S.H.I.E.L.D. In this, some contrast between what we've seen in the Civil War trailer. Tony Stark goes to Wakanda, which is where Black Panther is from.
Right.
Essentially, it's the most technologically advanced city on the globe.
Yeah, and doesn't it have that special element?
It has vibranium.
Vibranium, that's it.
Which is Captain America's shield is made out of. Also, Black Panther's outfit.
Nice.
So he goes to Black Panther. He's like, listen, I need your help. And Black Panther's like, yo, dog, I don't want to help you because you wouldn't like it if we interfered with your affairs, just as we wouldn't like it if you interfered with our affairs. So Tony Stark's like, I respect that.
Yeah.
Later, Black Panther comes to the aid of Captain America.
Yeah.
Because Tony Stark killed Goliath, essentially. Because Tony Stark did the Iron Man or did the Thor thing.
Yeah, through the creation that he had, right?
Essentially. So I have written down Black Panther hates Tony Stark and gave allegiance to Captain after Goliath dies, which is different from the trailer we've seen.
Okay.
Also different from the trailer is Vision is clearly on Captain America's team the whole time. In the comics.
In the comics? But in the trailer, it looked like he was on...
In the trailer, it looks like he's on Iron Man's team.
Yeah.
I have written down most of Iron Man's team as the Thunderbolts, which is the villains.
Yeah.
Essentially the Sinister Six.
And this, I haven't seen any of those, right? In the trailer, I didn't see
them.
them.
They're not in the trailer.
Yeah.
There's some key differences between the comics and the trailer.
Yeah.
Hank Pym is on Iron Man's team, which is Ant-Man, which in the trailer is flipped.
Yeah.
Ant-Man is on Captain America's team.
I remember that. Yep.
Let's see. Oh, I forgot about this. Iron Man is making the initiative plan, which is and which is to have a superhero team in every state. So 50 states.
Yeah.
All have a team like the Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these are comprised of like new superheroes, old superheroes, but also superheroes that he's technologically manufactured, like Thor, that he's put on.
Interesting.
In
does his machines have like independence?
Yeah.
Are they like?
Think Ultron. He made. I mean.
I guess he made Ultron and Vision.
In the movie, he made Ultron and Vision.
Yeah.
In the comics, Hank Pym did.
Okay.
But think Ultron.
Yeah.
So like Thor went haywire
mm-hmm.
and like killed Goliath, which was a big turning point.
Right.
Which made a lot of people switch sides and a lot of people quit fighting.
Right.
And now there's like one of these in every single state.
Hmm.
So there's at least 50.
Dang.
So while Tony Stark wins, and some people will say that like, yeah, he's in the right. Like he's still doing things that are clearly wrong. Clearly wrong.
Okay.
Now to get to a more moral setting and to get more into Civil War trailers, and the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, well, I should have said this before, but there's going to be spoilers.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
That's right. So, this is all speculation for the movie. I have not seen the movie. You have not seen the movie.
I have not seen the movie.
So, based on what I've seen in the trailers, I'm going to try to flesh out the movie as much as possible. But there's going to be spoilers. There's spoilers for the comic I just talked about, which I probably shouldn't have. But
backward spoiler alert. I mean, it won't be in the movie, so.
So I have these all set. I had a whole bunch of notes. I have all these.
Holy cow bunch.
That's right. I have these split into different parts, like setting, timeline, specifically airport villains, and just some other death and future events. So I mean, we'll just go through it, I guess.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, first, what do you think of in the comics? It was a registration act.
Right.
It was everyone needs to be registered if you're not registered.
And that sounds similar to what the trailer presents.
Yeah. In the trailer, what I understand it to be is, and what you've seen, what I can see, is that it's less of a United States thing and it's more of a global thing.
Yeah.
Because they bring up Sokovia, and it's called the Sokovia Accord or something like that.
Yeah.
And Sokovia is obviously not in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
But from what it looks like Captain America has his shield and Falcon has his wings taken away from him to be ran by the UN. So, like, superheroes can only act upon a UN request, is what it looks like in the trailer. And maybe even in the movie. Yeah. So it's no longer a US thing, it's a completely global thing.
Right, and they have some sort of oversight.
Yeah, they have all the oversight. Like, you can't do anything, you can't have any of your equipment unless the UN says so.
Okay, and you're taking that from this part where they take his shield?
Yeah, from the trailer.
Okay.
Stuff like that, and Sokovia and things along that. I guess we'll flesh out. I'll flesh out, then I'll ask you a question.
Okay.
In the setting, just the setting of the whole movie, there's kill counts in the trailer of the past 3 Iron Man movies, or the past 3 movies, not Iron Man. There's 2 Avengers and 1 Captain America, Winter Soldier. And this is when General Ross is talking to Captain America and Scarlet Witch and Falcon and I think Black Widow. Mm-hmm. They're all talking there, and he's like, listen, we have to hold you accountable. Then Iron Man comes in, and he's like, yeah, I'm with these guys. We're going to hold you accountable because I'm above you guys. Essentially is what it looks like.
That sounds very biased, what you just said.
It does. However...
that was definitely paraphrased.
But they're like, we need to hold you accountable, and Iron Man's like, that's why I'm here. Like, what do you mean? You have created the most destruction of everybody. And I have it written. I have Iron Man is taking responsibility after having completely none of it in Avengers 2. Because in Avengers 2, as we've talked about before, and I'm going to bring up again.
Okay.
He created Ultron.
On accident.
No, he created Ultron on purpose.
Okay.
It went haywire on accident.
Right.
That's
on
because...
accident. What Ultron became was an accident, not on purpose.
No, Ultron, what he became, what he was created to do, Iron Man needed the Tesseract to do that. Iron Man had no idea what was happening in the Tesseract. And so that became Ultron. So Iron Man's messing with things, he has no idea what's going on. Mm-hmm. And then later, he doesn't learn from his mistakes, and he's like, I'm just going to make another Ultron. And it just so happens it turns out to be Vision.
Well, it was no, I want to do what I set out to do, and this time not have it go haywire, which is what happened, and Vision came out.
No,
so
Tony
he
Stark
succeeded at what he wanted to do the second time, and made Vision.
No. Because Tony Stark literally hardly changed anything between Ultron, when he made Ultron, and when he made Vision. Literally the only thing that's changed was...
Jarvis.
No.
Right?
No.
Yes.
No. He just
Okay.
became Jarvis. Jarvis is the creation that he made in Age of Ultron. In the very background of everything, Ultron is like taking over the internet.
Right.
He's trying to find all the nuclear launch codes.
Right.
And Jarvis is defending the nuclear launch codes from him.
Right.
So it appears that Jarvis is dead the whole movie, comes back at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
When Vision is made, it's because there is this one Asian lady doctor, I can't remember her name. She's been working on like skin grafts.
Right.
And she already has almost a whole like person formed when Ultron steals it from her.
Mm-hmm.
And then Iron Man essentially steals it back from Ultron, works on it with Bruce Banner, who is like the key biological person in Marvel.
Yep.
So they're working together, and then Bruce Banner is essentially like, I don't want to do this. I don't think this is going to work. And Iron Man's like, no, it will definitely work. And Bruce Banner's like, no, I don't think so.
Right. He has qualms about it.
Right. And then Captain America comes in, he's like, shut it down, because clearly you didn't do it right the last time. And Captain America throws his shield at the computer, and I think it bounces off, and it might come close to Iron Man. Yeah. Then Iron Man starts a fight with Captain America.
Right. He
shoots him with the hand.
Yeah.
So Iron Man, I don't know who necessarily started that fight. I don't know if it's that important. But everyone's against Iron Man, and they're like, stop doing things without telling us. Like, we're a team. We're supposed to be working together. You're going behind our back. The last time you did this, you created Ultron.
Right.
So then Iron Man doesn't stop it, even though Captain America, his superior, is telling him not to. Superior based on ranking in the Avengers.
Okay, that's fine.
And then Thor comes down, and after his vision, he's having his vision in the pool, and he's like, oh, I see the future, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Comes down, hits the tomb with his hammer with a whole bunch of lightning, and supercharges it.
Yeah, and it finishes.
And then
Vision.
It finishes it, and then becomes the Vision.
Yeah.
And a Vision for like the first 10 minutes he's alive is literally just fighting the Avengers. Like, he doesn't know. The only thing that stops him is that like he eventually becomes like he realizes what's happening.
Right.
But I would not credit Iron Man in making the Vision.
Okay, so you only credit Tony with making Ultron, not making Vision. What I see is that he tried to make Vision, or he tried to make Ultron as a good thing. It fails, tries to finish what he started, makes Vision, net 0.
I don't think that's how it works.
And then they defeated Ultron, and so Vision is all that's left. So net positive.
Kind of defeated Vision. No, kind of defeated Ultron.
As far as we know, it's defeated.
Well, it might be in the Mind Stone. But
we'll find out.
Iron Man essentially is like, I'm going to make a suit of armor for the globe.
Right. That's what Ultron.
No one has ever asked him to do that. He's going about this himself. He's essentially putting the globe under martial law.
I mean, to an extent, sure.
And people...
Well, martial law, maybe. I don't know.
And in the movie, people hate Tony Stark. Like, when they first go to Sokovia to get the Mind Stone, and when they meet the Scarlet Witch and the Quicksilver...
Right, there's people, protesting Tony.
There's people protesting Tony, and he sends his Iron Legion down to, stop the protesters, and they literally get destroyed.
Right, but isn't that because of the arms trade that he had before? Because that's the basic story of Scarlet Witch and the fast dude, Quicksilver. In that is that they got hit by a bunch of Tony Stark's weapons.
Yeah,
and that's why they hate him.
Yeah,
not because he's making the Iron Legion.
No, but they still hate all of his creations.
Right. I mean, he's an arms dealer turned into a superhero. People are bound to hate him, and he's a billionaire. People hate him for money too.
And he's a playboy. People hate him for being a playboy.
Yeah, but he's getting better at the playboy part. Pepper
Potts.
Don't you love Pepper? I love Pepper. She's great.
If we want to have more of a discussion on how much I hate Iron Man because he's a big...
I mean, I feel like everyone has a pretty clear indication of your feeling about Iron Man. I think it's mostly unfounded, but...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we want to have more debate with research, we can, as we've talked about before.
See, you know so much more about comic books than I do.
So you can see defeat. I win! Iron Man sucks! Back into Captain America
Civil War. I haven't changed my mind. He has good intentions in everything that he does. It's just he made a mistake or it messed up. It was out of his control, and Ultron was bad. And then he was successful in making Vision.
Yeah, but...
And then they defeat Ultron.
He didn't make Vision by himself.
Okay.
So how can you credit him to that?
He was partly due to it, and he's the one who got Bruce to do it in the first place.
Against his will.
Against his will? I didn't see him put a gun to his head. He convinced him to do it. That's his choice. He's freaking the Hulk. No one can stop the Hulk. He's indestructible.
Yeah, but this whole movie, he's like, I don't want to turn green.
Okay, you gave up. I win. I went.
How did I give up?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Back
to Captain
your
America.
excuse was not good
In
enough.
the trailer,
His choice.
Peter Parker, Spider-Man is in it, obviously. We've seen that in the trailer.
Yeah, exciting. It was weird that his eyes moved.
That's
is that how it's supposed
Iron
to be?
Spider suit that's Tony Stark makes for him.
Oh, interesting.
So there's gonna be two Spider-Man suits. There's gonna be like an Iron Spider-Man suit, which you saw in the trailer.
Okay.
And there's going to be like a regular Spider-Man suit that Peter Parker makes himself.
Okay.
Well, that's the rumor. There's a scene where Captain America's like in an apartment with blacked out windows. And I think that's when he's talking to Spider-Man after the airport scene.
Okay.
Essentially, I think the movie starts with a UN explosion, which we've seen, and people blame Bucky for that UN explosion.
Yeah, which makes sense for the opening scene where they're hunting him, and he's like, "They're coming."
Well, I don't know if this is related. I don't know how Bucky gets his arm stuck in that vice grip.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happens.
I'm sure it's like I bet it's like a trap that Cap sets for him.
No, because Captain and Falcon aren't in their suits, so I just don't understand how
he got caught.
He would get caught. But there's a whole bunch of stuff going on here. All we've seen in the trailer so far, essentially, is heroes fighting heroes. Mm-hmm. We have not seen the villains in this movie. Yeah.
Which they haven't set up any of the villains in any other movies, really.
Crossbones. Crossbones is in the trailer for a very slim minute. He is the guy in Captain America Winter Soldier that is part of S.H.I.E.L.D. He fights Falcon in that building, then the helicarrier falls on the building.
Yeah, yeah.
He comes back. He's all Hydra all the time. Baron Zemo is cast in this movie, which is a big Captain America villain.
Okay.
He's German. His dad was one of the greatest German scientists. And then Captain America fought him. He got this like mask glued to his head, so he hates Captain America forever. And his two main goals are like to destroy Captain America and like take over the world. So I think that's what's happening
here. Those are two good goals.
But he's all Hydra. So Crossbones and Baron Zemo are all Hydra.
Hydra.
So I think the explosion of the UN is based on Hydra. Okay. And I think they're trying to frame Bucky for it. Mm-hmm. So that's why they're kind of like running around all the time.
Yeah.
I think the film opens up with that. And then I think when you see Crossbones, he's invading the IFID, which is the Institute for Infectious Disease, which is in Africa.
Oh.
Because there's a picture of the African landscape on it.
Okay.
Like the African continent, which is also where Wakanda is, which kind of brings in Black Panther.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I think when he's invading, I think Captain America is there with Falcon trying to rescue Bucky. I think Bucky might be in there.
Okay.
So that happens. And then after that, I think, unless that's the very end of the movie, I'm not sure if that's going to be the very end or the very beginning. Then I think they all get sat down, and General Ross is like, listen, we need to hold you accountable. Iron Man starts fighting people. Captain America starts fighting people. There's that scene where Bucky tries to shoot Iron Man in the head, but he has that iron watch thing, like that watch hand.
Oh yeah,
the super sick watch hand, and it stops it.
Yeah,
and then I think Bucky clocks him right in the face,
probably
because Iron Man has a black eye for like the rest of the movie.
He does.
I don't know where he gets it, but that makes the most sense.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And I think, I know there's something in Russia that happens because there's a Russian flag on military people, like on their arm.
Yeah. And so that's somehow involved in the whole thing.
Yeah, I think Bucky is in a chamber in Russia, like one of those like cryogenic chambers to like revive himself with either.
Okay.
I think that might be at the very end of the movie. I think Bucky and Captain America are going to be there. Iron Man's going to show up. When you see them fighting, and like you see like a cold landscape in the background, I think they're fighting in Russia. I think that's going to be at the very end of the movie.
Okay.
And I think Bucky and Captain America are doing one over on Iron Man.
Yeah,
I think Iron Man gets out of it somehow.
It looks like what's the guy's name? Man, why can I... Rhodey.
War Machine?
Yeah, War Machine is going to die.
I don't know. Because the way the editing makes it look like in the trailer, it makes it look like...
He's dead. That's what it looks like.
Well, it makes it look like Bucky shoots him down.
Yeah.
But if you look closely, Bucky is clearly like inside a hallway when he shoots that gun, and the next clip is an energy beam destroying War Machine's chest and him falling. So, based on those two clips alone, I don't think it's going to be Bucky that destroys him.
Yeah.
Because Bucky doesn't have any energy particles like that.
Okay.
The only people that do would be like...
Vision
would, but they're on the same team, it looks like, an Iron Man.
Yeah.
And I think maybe Iron Man shoots at Captain America. Captain America might deflect it with a shield. And it goes up, it hits War Machine.
Yeah.
War Machine then looks like he's dead. If he dies or not, I don't know. It's a weird thing to give out in a trailer.
Yeah, I know. I was a little upset. I hope he doesn't die. I hope it's like a big twist.
Right.
But
I also think that's is the signal for when Spider-Man switches sides.
Is when Rhodey dies?
Yeah, because I think that's a parallel to when Goliath dies in the comic.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So Spider-Man's like, I don't want to be part of this anymore. Too many people are getting hurt.
Yeah.
But also, the first time you see Spider-Man, the first time everyone sees Spider-Man is at the airport scene.
Right, and he's taking Captain America's shield away.
Right. But that's also when War Machine falls down is at the airport, at the end of the airport scene.
Right, so, yeah, I don't know.
So I think Spider-Man shows up right then, and he's like, yeah, I've been working with Iron Man. They fight, War Machine goes down somehow, and then Spider-Man's like, I don't want to be part of this. Cut to later, Captain America in his apartment convincing him to work for him. Then Spider-Man throws away his Iron Spider suit, and then fights with Captain America under his old suit, which is going to be super sick.
Is that in the trailer at all?
No.
Okay.
You see the trailer, you see him in an apartment,
Yeah.
but you don't see the new suit or anything. You only see Spider-Man for like those 2 seconds. There's the underwater prison, which I think is equating to the negative zone. So this is where they've been throwing people in prison. When you see Iron Man look around in the prison, he's not in a cell, he's like in the center of it. He has a black eye. So that's after Bucky, I assume, punches him.
Yeah.
There's the airport scene, which I think is going to be the main set piece.
The finale.
But there's that highway scene where Black Panther is chasing Bucky and Captain America is chasing Black Panther. I think that might be in Africa. I think that might be after they leave the IFID.
Yeah.
And then Bucky's on the run for whatever reason. I don't necessarily know what's going to happen between Captain America and the Black Panther. There's
or how that story's
in the very first trailer, there is scratches on Captain America's shield.
Yeah.
From the Black Panther because they're both made from the same metal.
Vibranium. Yep.
Black Eye. I don't think. Yeah, like I said, I don't think Bucky shoots the War Machine. I think the movie is going to open with that UN explosion.
And that's going to cause the whole Sokovia Accords and like the whole like government plot is that explosion.
I think that might be it.
Or is that going to be in response to the Accords?
No,
the explosion?
That's not going to be in response to it. I think that's going to kick it all off. You see a scene where Black Panther, T'Challa is his actual name, I believe, or T'Challa or something like that, is at the UN explosion. It looks like. So it looks like the UN explodes. That then gets him into the fray, and he's like, I'm going to fight you guys because you're clearly hurting me personally and the UN. Later, there's a scene where Black Widow is calling Captain America, and she's like, listen, stay out of this one. I don't want you to get hurt. And it looks like she's in front of the UN building after it exploded.
Yeah, I think I remember that part.
So she's there, so that's why I think it starts. And then I think it starts with the UN exploding, and I think Captain goes to look for Bucky. Because everyone thinks it's Bucky. It's made to look like it was Bucky, right?
He's framed.
Right? So he goes to look for Bucky, finds him wherever.
Russia.
And I think the IFID gets attacked in the middle somehow, brings Black Panther again, and then there's the airport scene. I think the final set piece is going to be at the prison or at Russia, or maybe those are the same things.
Yeah. And it's going to be Bucky and Captain.
Bucky and Captain and Iron Man.
Frozen
I think it's just going to be those three.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch, you can see immobilizing Vision. And Hawkeye is laying on the ground, like passed out or dead.
Yeah.
That is doable because both their powers come from the Mind Stone. That's how Scarlet Witch got her powers, and that's how Vision does his thing, is the Mind Stone.
Isn't it in his head?
What?
Isn't it literally in his head?
Yeah. Also, that's might be why Vision is better than Ultron, because he has the Mind Stone.
Yeah. He literally is the Mind Stone.
Well, he has it. There's a cool scene where Ant-Man jumps off of one of Hawkeye's arrows at the airport.
Yeah.
And he's rumored to turn into Giant Man. So just like how he compresses his atoms to be small, he can also expand them to be large. So it'll be interesting to see if he fights them like that.
Gets real big.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
However, I'm
excited to see how he fits in with the whole group, like personality-wise.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to be like comic relief. Maybe.
I don't know. I was watching all these movies, and there's a lot of comedy in them. And I've always said, I think Marvel movies have a little bit too much comedy.
Yeah, you've said that before.
I don't know. It's just action movies and comedies can go hand in hand, but sometimes you take the tension out of something because you put in a joke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I gotcha.
Let's see what else I got. Baron Zemo, we talked about. Cap jumps through a window at the IFID. which we talked about how that's in Africa. Crossbones, I am almost certain he's attacking the IFID because when he's invading, he has soldiers with black suits, like black armor, black colors or whatever. Yeah. And there's people he's fighting that have like tan armor. And then in the scene where it says the IFID, there's a black armored guy on the ground, there's a tan armored guy on the ground. Like they're both taken care of. Yeah. So I think that's going to happen. I still don't know when his arm is going to be in the vice. I don't know how that's happening. It looks like in the trailer they're painting Iron Man as the good guy, making heroes register, because he literally says we're no better than the bad guys if we don't
accept limitations. Yeah.
And I've read a lot of articles about how in the very last act of this, you're going to switch sides. Like, you're first going to be like, I'm with Iron Man, I'm with Captain, I'm with Iron Man, I'm with Captain. And that's even in the comic book. Because in the comic book, you're like, Iron Man has a good point. Right. Some of this stuff should be happening. Then he enlists the help of all these... When he makes Thor, and that goes wrong.
Right, and you think he goes too far. And then you kind of
like,
switch.
well, okay, well, I'm with Captain America. And then it goes back to Iron Man. He has enlisted all the Thunderbolts. He's like, okay, well... Clearly, he's doing things not the right way. Right. Now for my death and future events part. Okay. We'll see what happens. All right. At the next comic after Civil War is called Fallen Sun: The Death of Captain America. Oh my goodness! Which I just bought on my phone. I haven't read it all the way through yet, but I already know a little bit about it. Essentially, Crossbones snipes Captain America after he is coming out of the trial that he has been for surrendering. So he kills him. Oh, and then Bucky Barnes takes over the Captain America helm, becomes Captain America. Yeah. Which I have written here. We'll get to it. I can't find it. And then after that, like, Bucky is Captain America for the longest time. So that's what happens, and
it probably will be, if that happens in the MCU, will probably be the rest of MCU.
Well, I don't know. Every character in Civil War is contracted for at least one more movie in Marvel, in the MCU. Huh. Every single character. But, that being said, the Infinity War is
a two-parter, right?
It's 2 parts, and it's around the Infinity Gauntlet, which can literally do anything. Like, once it has all the stones, it can shape time and bring people back to life and kill people and do all this other stuff. Wow. So it's not too far-fetched to think that someone's going to die. And then come back in like part 2 of the Infinity War.
Interesting. It could be like the finale of the first one.
Yeah. That, and I had a thought and I lost it. So I have here Iron Man gets beaten an inch from his death in the comics. So it would be interesting to see if Iron Man died at the end of this, for them to like stray away from the comics. Because they're already strayed away from the comics a little bit, but it'd also be a big twist because people wouldn't expect it.
Also, Robert Downey Jr. is expensive.
He is.
He's the most expensive out of all
However, of them. This movie he's doing, Civil War, is not one he was contracted for. He extended his contract for this.
I remember that. Man, it was for a lot of money, wasn't it?
Infinity War, he gets like $200 billion or something like that.
200 billion. I think it's 200 million. No, it's 20 million.
Not that. No, it's a lot. It's on here. But
is it? We talked about that in one of the episodes.
He gets like half.
Yeah.
Half of the book.
It's ridiculous how much money he gets.
But it would be interesting to see him die. I don't think he does. It looks like Rhodey has appeared dead in the trailer. Right. I wouldn't be that upset if he died in the movie.
I mean, I don't think... I'm not like... Is anybody really that connected to him? Like, I mean, I wouldn't want him... I don't want anybody to die, but... Like, out of all the characters, I'm not super attached to War Machine.
I mean, as more of a plot device, I wouldn't care that much. Yeah. Because the tension's already been taken out of it. So, he pretty much has to not die. But he looks dead.
Yeah, he looks pretty dead.
But if he did die, I wouldn't be that upset as a plot device. Right. As we talked about, Cap dies in the comic, directly preceding this event by Crossbones, like we talked. He also has a 6-movie deal with Marvel, this being his 5th. So he has one more. Yeah. But this death could be a catalyst for the Avengers to stop fighting and get their stuff together. True. For Infinity War. True. That's what I'm thinking. This is what I have written down for Bucky. Bucky looks like his arm is cut off. However, when Captain dies in the comics, Bucky takes up the mantle. In one of the scenes, you see Bucky lying on the ground with like his metal arm cut off. Really? When Iron Man and Captain America are fighting. It's very hard to see. You kind of have to like go at like half speed, but you can see it. Yeah. And then I wrote, Have you seen Bucky without his long hair? He's ruggedly handsome, just like Chris Evans. He could be Captain America just based on how handsome he is.
Nice. That's funny.
So I don't know. I guess those are kind of my thoughts. I'm kind of all over the place. Essentially, I think it's going to start with a UN explosion. It's going to go to... Somehow they're going to get to Africa at the IFID. Bucky's going to get trapped, his arm somehow. There's definitely going to be a prison scene. There's definitely going to be a fight scene between just Iron Man, Captain America, and Bucky.
Yeah. Which we got a little bit of taste of.
And I think that's going to be the finale, is those three fighting.
Yeah.
And I think Iron Man might kill Captain America at that scene. And I think it would be kind of cool to have Captain America come back in the finale of Part 1 of Infinity War if he had died. Mm-hmm. Captain America doesn't really make any appearances in any other movie other than his own, right?
Yeah, not that I can think of.
And this, we didn't say this at the beginning, but this is very clearly a Captain America movie and not an Avengers movie.
Yes.
Like, this is based 100% around Captain America.
Yeah.
I don't know how they could kill Bucky. Like, that just wouldn't make sense to me. But if Captain America died, Bucky would then take up the Captain America
Which
helmet,
makes sense.
right? That'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, if they kill Bucky, they kill, like, a character they've been developing. Like,
yeah.
Captain America's pretty much developed,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so he's, like, at the top of his story arc. I mean, he could continue into Infinity War. It's just like Iron Man, his character's been fleshed out, too. Like, for them to die, way more impact. Yeah. Way more than if Bucky does.
There's a rumor that the Russo brothers have said there's going to be 3 deaths in this movie.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
don't know who it is. Also, where did I put that? Oh, here it is. The Infinity Gauntlet can literally do anything, which means if anyone dies, they can be brought back. The Russo brothers confirmed at least 1 in-credit scene. This is in a Forbes article with a max of 3.
Wow, thanks.
So anywhere between 1 and 3.
Thanks, Russo
But
brothers.
they said specifically stick around at the end of the credits to see it.
Nice.
I'm super pumped to see this movie. More so than Avengers Age of Ultron.
Really?
I think. But Spider-Man's in it. I love Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, he's your man.
And I mean,
he's your boo.
If you look at the trailers between Avengers Age of Ultron and like Captain America Civil War, I think Civil War has a better trailer.
Huh.
Or all the trailers. When I first saw that there was a second trailer, I saw it on Twitter, and I'm like, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to be spoiled. And then I went to the hashtag that was like Civil War trailer.
Yeah.
And there was a big old picture of Spider-Man, and I'm like, dang it, now I have to watch it.
It got ruined.
So now I have to spoil it for everybody.
Dang.
That's what I think. Someone's going to die. I think the highest chance is going to be Captain America, as well as 2 other people. If Rhodey dies, cool.
Yeah, whatever, man.
If Hawkeye dies,
I want a little feels for Hawkeye because we met his family.
Because his family, but if he died, I'll just be like, cool, it's Hawkeye.
Yeah. It would be sad.
I'd be sadder if Hawkeye died than War Machine.
I agree.
Because of his family.
Just because, like, we've known him longer, essentially. Or he's been more fleshed out because of the family.
There's a scene in the trailer where Black Widow and Tony Stark are in the Avengers complex, and Tony Stark has his arm in a sling, and Black Widow's like, you need to look out, you need to watch your own back, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know where that's going to fit into the movie.
Yeah. I don't know either. I was confused by that scene, too, because his arm is broken.
Yeah, his arm is broken.
I
assume his arm would be broken after a fight with, like, Captain America and Bucky.
Yeah.
But then why would they... I don't know.
Why would we be talking? I don't know. It's interesting.
This movie comes out in May 6th, I think. It's not even April yet.
Oh, my goodness.
Daredevil's coming out tonight.
Yay, Daredevil! Season 2. I rewatched the last, 3 episodes yesterday.
There's another trailer that came out for it. Daredevil.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm going to watch an episode tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Then I don't have to go to work till later in the afternoon tomorrow, so I'll probably watch 6 episodes in the morning.
There you go.
I don't know. Those are my thoughts on Civil War. They're more fleshed out in my head, but when they came to my mouth, they kind of just all blurted out.
Blur, 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 blur.
Blur, 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 blur.
That's how I feel every time I talk.
Yeah?
I'm just blurting things. Blurt, blurt, blurt. All right, well, if you want to blurt things out at us,
hey,
go ahead and send us a tweet at UPGamersPodcast.
Or send us an email at underpaidgamerspodcast.com. Or comment on, what was that?
SoundCloud.
Comment on SoundCloud.
Comment on SoundCloud if you want to talk to us, those things.
That's right.
Those all work.
It's really weird. When someone comments on SoundCloud and I reply to the comment, I get a notification for my own reply.
Yep.
Like, that's so
That happens. Also, feel free to check out our blog, underpaidgamers.wordpress.com. Beyond that, Anything else? No.
No, that's it.
Nothing else. That's all I got.
Next week,
Next
we'll
week.
probably talk about Daredevil.
That's right. Daredevil Season 2.
That's right.
Because I'll probably watch them all in one day.
That's the plan.
If not 1 day, 2 days.
There you
2
go.
days max. All right. Have a good one, everybody.
Thanks for listening.